here I am. I'm here once again to dump out my purse on your lap and talk about my insecurities, man. It's hard to feel, insecure. It's hard to feel anxious when when you know you bad. Like, mamita, mommy, you see. It's ridiculous, but it's true. Oh, all right. Insecurity part 2 with your boy ChaseKassidy. Yep, let's do it. Hey, welcome back. Chasing Your Face on the Sweet Talkers Network. I'm your host, ChaseKassidy. Yes, and as always, I ain't got no pants on. Yo, so today I'm here keeping my word to you guys. I told you about 4 months ago in a previous video where I talked about insecurity and I couldn't quite get through it. I said that I would finish up the conversation and come back and see y'all. And so here I am. I'm here once again to dump out my purse on your lap and talk about my insecurities, man. Honestly, I want to finish the conversation because number one, I always keep my word. And number two, it's a valid conversation to have. And I think it's something that, should be done no matter how insanely uncomfortable I am right now. And I am insanely uncomfortable. So before I get started, man, trigger warning for anybody. We talk about insecurities today. Let's go. So I'm gonna start today with honestly kind of delving in a little bit to my own insecurities personally. And then I'm gonna wrap it up and let y'all know, like, some of the things, the doll has been trying over the past few months to overcome the insecurity and the anxiety and all the mental stuff. Like, I've been, she been out here working. So I'm gonna let y'all know what some of those tips were. Hopefully you find something that's, that'll fit your life and something that could possibly help you get over insecurity, because I'm not really just here to just, again, like I said, dump out my purse, but I want to, hopefully help one of y'all, who knows. I gotta say, man, one thing I don't lack is thankfully is having people in my life that, actually care about me. So there were a lot of people that reached out and showed love and, encouraged me in certain ways. And I want to say thank you to those friends and those family members who did do that for me. As you can see, man, like, honestly, like, kind of like similar to the last episode, I'm not having the greatest time, right? But here's the thing. What I realized in watching the other video back, because I saw that my energy was very similar to how it is right now. I know you guys are used to seeing me like in a bit of a different way. You guys are getting me a little bit more like raw, I guess. Yeah, baby, I like it raw. But I realized that wasn't a thing that I was just feeling, that day, it just happened to be that day that I felt that way. No, because I'm kind of like, this has been on my calendar to speak about this. And I'm feeling not so great today. So I think it's just the heaviness of the subject. And instead of trying to like control, the temperature of the conversation, and trying to make it, more and jovial than it is, I'm just gonna, be me about it. And, hopefully I like it. And if not, comment, man. Get in the comments, bro. Stop playing. Algorithm. Come on. So, if I'm being honest, when it comes down to my own insecurities in particular, I have the same kind of insecurities other people do. Like when it comes down to like, just like physical stuff. Like I look at myself and I say things that aren't nice, and I feel things that aren't nice about myself, like everybody else does. And I'm a little, I put this, I put a little gusto into it, man. Like if I'm gonna drag myself, I'm gonna drag myself. I'm a I'm going to drag myself from root to tip, sister. And like, I think I just, the art of dragging, I learned from being just, part of the gay culture, being a gay man. We got to learn how to drag, and sometimes we turn that skill in on ourselves. And I definitely have been guilty of doing that. And I actually do that to myself more than I do it to other people outside of me, even if they deserve it. Even if people deserve it, I won't, but I will drag myself. When it comes to like, I'm not muscular enough, or I'm not like, I'm not skinny enough, or I'm not thick enough, or, my abs ain't poking the way they used to, or ain't no cuts, like all that stuff. I drag, and that stuff starts to weigh down on you. But I also have, insecurities that are a little bit more specialized, and a little more, things that are a little bit more specific to me. And that kind of adds to the weight. And this is the stuff that you got to think about, like when you out and about and you see people, right? And people are dealing with things that you may not realize, you don't know about. This is the stuff, like the stuff that's specific to them, the things that have happened in their life and their trauma, and the stuff they deal with that may be the reason why they act the way they act, or they move the way that they move. This is that for me, my specific traumas and my specific insecurities. The first one I'll talk about is like, it's not a trauma at all. It's like, much less than a trauma. It's actually, interesting enough, it's my pleasure. Actually, I have feel inadequacies when it comes to like, even like leading my team here at the Sweet Talkers. I didn't start this to have a network. I didn't start this to have a team. I started this as a podcast, Lookout Podcast. This is something to do to kind of like get over, trauma that I had that leads to some insecurity. We'll get to that in a second. But I use it to, this podcasting medium as a way to kind of like heal myself from something, and it led to this, and so here I am. I had no intent of this, but I'm here and I'm loving it, and it's great, and we have a great time doing this for y'all. But at the same time, there's always like that feeling of like, why me? I don't know what I'm doing. Like, why would they listen to me? Like, what, but at the same time, it's just really interesting. It's really interesting, the types of conversations that you have with yourself. And it even shows itself in ways of like, I had a meeting recently with the production team, and in my head, the meeting was going to go one particular way, and then as it was coming up, I was just so nervous. I'm having the meeting for my team, and I'm nervous. Does it make sense, Mamita? I don't think it makes sense. I'm just saying, like, but like I was nervous. These are my friends, that I get to work with. So there should be no pressure. This is an environment that I created. So why would I feel insecure in the safe space that I created, right? That's crazy. It's really, well, it's not crazy. I'm trying to like, watch my language when it comes to the way that I speak to myself, and we'll get to that a little bit later. But let me correct myself. Nothing about what I'm saying today is crazy. Nothing about what I'm feeling is crazy. Nothing about, any of the connections that you're having to what I'm saying is crazy for you. None of it. Like, it's completely normal, whatever the hell normal is, right? I also deal with a little bit of what I guess, I don't know if there's an actual term for this, but I'm going to call it like social insecurity, I guess, as opposed to social security. But yeah, social insecurity. Like, I have a lot of like, I guess it's pretty adjacent to social anxiety, but it's a lot of insecurity I feel in large public situations, large public gatherings. I was never like really that girl that really got into all of that, I was never like the club kid. I was never like, that sort of guy. But at the same time, like, something that I love to do, like going to the movies, I'm a Marvel guy, man. Like, I'm a super nerd. I'm a geek. Yo, drop down in the comments if you want to see more geek content on the channel, by the way. If you want to see more geeky stuff that's like geared towards the girls, geeky stuff for the girls. Because I know a lot of us out there are like Marvel kids. I know a lot of us out there like love like DC for whatever reason. We'll get to that. But no, like if you want more stuff like that, drop down in the comments, because that's like something I'm like super passionate about, actually. So it might be coming whether you like it or not. Let me know if you will watch it. But yeah, like in social situations, I just feel uncomfortable. I feel insecure. I feel like everybody's looking at me. I feel insecure about, again, back to the physical stuff. I feel insecure about the way that I look, the way that I walk, the way that I talk, how I'm dressed. And then like the stress sweat starts. And then it's just like the heart palpitate. It's just a whole thing, so I have those insecurities, but also, man, people in social situations, people are crazy, man. Like I can't even go. I used to love going to the movies, man. Like I was saying, I used to love going to the movies. It was like one of my favorite things to do. And like, even now going to do that, I feel like a sense of, like there's always a sense of like, am I safe here? Just because of, this is the society that we live in right now. And I guess this is just the hand that we're dealt and how we have to move, right? But yeah, another reason that I have like some social insecurities or whatever would definitely have to be like health reasons. If it's, I think on certain levels of germophobia, I am on the spectrum. And so I was already there, but like on a serious note, I have a healthy respect. I will say I'm not gonna say healthy because it may not be healthy. I'm not sure, but I have a respect for that thing that showed up in March 2020. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And that has a lot to do with the fact that, and this is kind of getting into something I kind of alluded to a little bit earlier. My final, I guess, not final, but one of my other biggest insecurities would certainly be health insecurity. I dealt with something that could have taken me up out of here a few years ago. And so when you've come that close to, going home, as the Christians say, when you come that close to that, or even having the actual real threat of that in your life, that's something that is, it makes you look at your life a little bit differently. And so let me be a little more specific. So in October 2017, I had brain surgery for a brain aneurysm. Thankfully, the aneurysm never ruptured, so that's good, right? But it was there. I had it, and it could have ruptured at any time, and it could have taken me up out of here at literally any moment. The way that I guess I can describe it is kind of like a bomb, in a sense, in your skull. And so just at any moment it's possible. So I had surgery to treat that, to correct that, which, is tough on a person to, deal with. Maybe at a later date, at another time, we can dig into that more if you want more of that. That's a heavy lift. Sheesh. Gosh. Y'all probably saw it right in here when I started talking about it. Like it just, like my soul just started like leaving. But yeah, like, so you've dealt with something like that before, right? I started dealing with like symptoms of like PTSD after that. So imagine in 2017 getting brain surgery for something that could have taken you out of here, and then finally like starting to feel better, and like kind of get back into your body a bit, and then the entire planet shuts down because now your entire trigger, which is illness, sickness, is everywhere. It's out the door, so there's a lot of coping that has to be done with that. There's a lot of the social anxiety has cranked up, I gotta admit. You know what I'm saying? Like this is hard, y'all. This is hard, y'all. I'm doing this because I want this to be something that that helps somebody, and also I want it to be seen that, like, man, like myself and anybody else who gets on this network, And not just us, but anybody who gets up here and like gives y'all content like this, man. Like it's a lift. We love to do it. It's a great time. Like this is, I'm having a time of my life, and I love this. But it's a lift to pour like this, So please make sure you support and all of that stuff. But show love, man. Like it's a lot, but I wanna be helpful. So with all that said, some of the things that I've been doing over the past 4 months since I've like dropped the last video, to kind of like combat this insecurity and kind of like adjacent to anxiety as well, like trying to like fight against it. I recognized the first thing I started doing was like I really just wanted to like listen to my body, right, and pay attention to the space around me and the people around me. And in listening to my body, I learned that like I really started to figure out that I hold a lot of my my insecurity, anxiety, tension. I hold it in my body really badly. So I needed to start to, I started stretching, and I put my AirPods in and I stretch and I listen to affirmations while I do that. And when I say stretching, I mean like I'm probably stretching for like maybe like 25 minutes. Like I'm getting like a full body stretch. I'm getting really deep in there. And just as I'm doing it, I'm listening to the affirmations, and I'm also like agreeing with them. I'm agreeing with the affirmations, and I'm allowing like the negativity and the negative energy to kind of like release and get out of me in a way, and to not feel that tension is bad. That's been really helpful. Super shocker. I really was surprised at how much that's really helped me. So maybe that could help you out there too. Who knows? Right after I stretch, most of the time, I'll like lay down for like maybe 10 more minutes and keep my AirPods in, block everything else out, set the like mood sometime in the space, and I'll meditate. I've been trying to do that and just like feel my body and feel something good, or feel nothing at all. Sometimes like, just like existing on this, it's a lot. So like sometimes you don't want to feel anything, and sometimes like meditation really helps me to like kind of like detach and not necessarily be as present as I normally am. So maybe that'll help you too. Also, working out is something that that has been helping. I know it's so cliche, like, but like, nah, for real, man. Like, it really does help, and also like it kind of helps with like the self-image as well. Like, it's hard to feel, insecure. It's hard to feel anxious when you bad. Like, mamita, mommy, you see. It's ridiculous, but it's true. Like, it really is hard to. So working out helps. It also like helps to get. I know one day, like maybe like 2 weeks ago, maybe it was a week ago, I was like really like carrying a lot of like emotion and like anger and like just like I was like, let me just. So I ripped up some cardio, man. Like I ripped it up like as hard as I could, and like about halfway through, I was like, all right, this feels more manageable. Like I'm not gonna carry this frivolous thing that was making me rageful into tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So, maybe sometimes you gotta sweat, man. Get it off. However you gotta get it off. It's not a bad thing. Also, it's not like feeling good about yourself and like how you look. I try to like stay on top of like cutting my hair and stuff. There's a transformation that happens to a black man. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what I'm talking about. When you get the cut, right? It's like a whole different. You know what I mean. So I try to keep up with that because it at least makes me feel good about what I like see in the mirror. So yeah, if you can afford it, like keep up with your haircuts. And like honestly, man, like like I cut my own hair and it is like a lifesaver. Like, so like if you can figure out how to do that for yourself and be in charge of your own fresh, it's over, I'm telling you. But this is something I learned today. It kind of like dropped on me today. I was like, I got to start looking at, loving myself as an opportunity and not as a chore. Like, I don't like, and not like something I check off on my to-do list. Like I actually literally have a to-do list most days in my phone, and I have it on there to like, the things that I'm going to do to love myself. Like but it feels, it should be like, yo, I'm looking forward to like doing the things that make me feel good about me today, and trying to fix that mindset. And along with fixing that mindset, man, like honestly, like, like really the biggest thing I've been doing, and it's the hardest, like this is so difficult, man, like it's so hard, is the negative self-talk and trying to clean that up. Like it's hard, but I'm telling y'all, like for a few weeks there, like I got it right. For a few weeks. I had everything, all this stuff I'm talking about with y'all for a few weeks, keeping it above. I had it in sync for a few weeks, and I was like knocking out the park. I felt amazing, best I had felt in a minute, right? And I was operating on a high level. Now, thankfully, I'm still able to operate on a high level, because I have a network to run and all that stuff. But like, yo, like internally, internally, it's a little rough right now, if I'm being honest, so like, I'm trying to get back to when I was really hitting it, when I was doing it right. And like, so I'm not gonna lie, man, when you firing on all cylinders, and it's you doing it, and it's perfect, and well, not perfect, but you're doing it with consistency and with purpose. It all comes together. So like it's how I'm able to. So I didn't feel like doing this, man. I ain't want to talk about this today. I want to come here and have fun with y'all, man. This is a variety show. Like I want to come and have a good time, but also at the same time, this is part of life. And one thing I'm gonna do is be honest. But doing this stuff works, So like, give it it's not always gonna be easy, man. Like I realized like I wanted to come and do this video when I felt better, when I felt like on top of the world, and I felt like the daddy, like all that. Like I wanted to wait, and I'm just like, yo, man, honestly, like that day may never come. I may always wrestle with this. I'm probably always gonna wrestle with insecurity in some way, and a lot of us may as well, but like I'm just gonna do my best to not let it like, completely put me on my ass. I'm gonna try my best to not let it like completely take me down. And if it does, because sometimes like keeping it real, sometimes I ain't getting up, fam. Leave me alone. That's okay. Like it's also part of this is like showing yourself grace, girl. I am talking about like, what? Listen, man. Look, I'm gonna make the next one fun. I promise. Do I? Let me look at my. Yeah, the next one. Look at my calendar. The next one's gonna be fun. Um, yo, man, thank y'all for coming today, and giving me the opportunity to dump out my purse again, and spill, talk about my insecurities and things like that. If this helps you in any way, if it opened up your eyes in any way, drop down in the comments. Let me know. Make sure you check out all of the cool stuff on the channel. If you want to find me on Instagram, you can find me at ChaseKassidy. Cassidy is spelled with a K. You can also follow the entire network on Instagram at It's the Sweet Talkers. Yo, make somebody smile today, and remember, be nice, asshole.